Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Our today's topic is API 1104 welding acceptance criteria. So let's start the topic. See, the code API 1104 is for welding of pipelines and related facilities. So this is the name of this code, and under this topic we'll learn about the acceptance criteria of following parameters or following defects. That is, number one is misalignment, second one is inadequate penetration, then incomplete fusion, then internal concavity, then fifth one is burn through, sixth one is slag inclusions, seventh porosity, then cracks, and ninth one is undercutting. So we'll learn about the acceptance criteria of these defects within today's video. So let's start the topic. First, we'll start with the misalignment. Basically, misalignment is not a welding defect, but it is related to fit up, but it's a very important parameter, so I've included this defect also here in this video. And the misalignment is given in the clause 7.2, and the misalignment which is acceptable is up to 3 mm. Means up to 3 mm if there is misalignment. Suppose we have a parent metal 1 and parameter 2, and if we are having up to 3 mm, 3 or less, then we can accept that fit up. Or if it is more than 3 mm, then we'll reject this fit up. So this is about alignment. Up to 3 mm, you have to remember this. Now the second defect which we'll learn is inadequate penetration. Friends, under this heading inadequate penetration, API 1104 has given 3 subheadings. First one is inadequate penetration without high-low. Its short form is IP, and the acceptance criteria is given in clause 9.3.1. The second is inadequate penetration due to high-low, IPD, and the clause we have to refer is 9.3.2. and the third one is inadequate cross penetration, ICP, clause is 9.3.3. So before explaining the acceptance criteria, let me give a very brief description of what is without high-low, due to high-low, and cross penetration. See friends, this is your weld joint. So without high-low is nothing but there is no misalignment. Means the level of base of first parent metal and second one is absolutely equal at single level. Then it is without high-low. And with high-low is means this there is some misalignment. Means the level of base metal of one parent metal is not equal to the other. So it is with high-low. And in with high-low, one edge is bonded with the weld metal, but the other one never gets bonded. It remains exposed in atmosphere. So this is with high-low. And third one is inadequate cross penetration. It means, suppose if we have a double V, then in double V we'll start our welding from this side and from the other side also, like here. So at the vertical land faces, if there will be lack of penetration, if weld metal will not be penetrating in the vertical land faces, then that defect will be called as inadequate cross penetration. So friends, let's understand the acceptance or rejection criteria for these. So for first one, in inadequate penetration without high-low, that is incomplete filling of weld root. See here, the weld root has not completely filled. I have shown the weld with the yellow color, and you can see the weld is up to here. This area is not filled. So this is inadequate penetration without high-low. So if this condition is there, then up to 25 mm, means if a single length is there, then up to 25 mm we can accept. Up to 25 mm. If it is beyond 25 mm, we'll reject. If I say up to 25 mm means 25 mm or less, we can accept. If there are 2, 3 or 4 or more than that, then sum of all inadequate penetration shall not be more than 25 mm. If it is more than 25 mm, then we'll reject. And it should be within 300 mm weld length. So within 300 mm weld length, if sum of all penetration, lack of penetration is more than 25 mm, we'll reject that. And the third criteria is that aggregate length should be more than 8%. 8% of the weld length. Means of the if our weld length is less than 300, for example say 150 mm. So our weld length is, if 150 mm, then 8% of 150 mm, up to 8% of 150 mm we can accept, and beyond that we can reject. Now the second one, inadequate penetration due to high-low. So if it is due to high-low, then we can accept up to 50 mm. For broken, if the cumulative total length is more than 75 mm, then we can reject. If it is 75 mm or less, we can accept for 300 mm weld length. Now the third one, inadequate cross penetration, and for this the criteria is given 50 mm. If it is more than 50 mm, we can reject that. And if there are 2, 3 or 4 and some of those lack of penetration is more than 50 mm, again we can reject if it is 3 mm, 100 mm weld length. Now friends, after understanding lack of penetration, we'll understand the incomplete fusion. So under this heading incomplete fusion, API has given used two terms. First one is incomplete fusion itself, and it is given in clause 9.3.4. And the second one is incomplete fusion due to cold lap, and it is given in clause 9.3.5. So let me give you a brief idea of what is incomplete fusion and what is incomplete fusion due to cold lap. So if the fusion is open to surface, suppose here I have shown with black color. Here you can see that this incomplete fusion is open to air, open to atmosphere, or open to surface. Then this is incomplete fusion only, and this shall be between weld metal and base metal only. Weld metal and base metal, not within base metals. So this is incomplete fusion. And if it is incomplete fusion due to cold lap, then it means it is not open to surface, means somewhere in the welding. And the second thing is that it can happen between two adjacent weld bits or between weld metal and base metal, means between weld bits also it can happen. Suppose here we have one weld run and here we have two weld run, and if there is lack of fusion, then we'll keep this in this heading only, incomplete fusion due to cold lap. So now you have understood what is incomplete fusion due to cold lap. Now I'll show you the acceptance or rejection criteria for that. So first we'll see the incomplete fusion. So if it is more than 25 mm, we'll straight away reject that. If there are 2, 3 or 4 or 5 or more than that fusion, and sum of all those lack of fusion is more than 25 mm in 300 mm weld length, again we'll reject that. And the third criteria is, if the weld length is less than 300 mm, then 8% of the weld length is the criteria. Suppose if it is 150 mm, weld length is 150 mm, then 8% of 150, whatever value would be, if our aggregate length of lack of fusion is more than that, then we'll reject that. Now second one, incomplete fusion due to cold lap. So if it is individual indication more than 50 mm, we'll reject that. If it is aggregate, then the complete cumulative length or total length, if it is more than 50 mm in 300 weld length, we'll reject that. And third one is same like this, 8% of the weld length. So this is what incomplete fusion. Now after understanding incomplete fusion, we'll understand internal concavity, and it is given in clause 9.3.6. So the criteria is density of the radiographic image of internal concavity does not exceed the density of the thinnest adjacent parent metal. The thinnest adjacent parent metal, if the density of this parent metal does not exceed the density of the weld metal, or it does not exceed the density of the internal concavity, then we can accept. And if the density increases, then we can reject. Now what does this density means? Friends, if we see in the radiography, see what happens if the material is more dense, the radiography film will be less darker, and if the material is less dense, then the radiography film will be more darker. Hence, this is how we can see the density. So if cold lap is more dark, it means that its density is more than the thinnest adjacent parent material. So if density is more, then we have to refer the burn through criteria. So I will show what is burn through criteria. This is borne through, and this criteria is given in 9.3.7. Here two things is given. For large dia separate acceptance criteria is given, and for a small dia pipe a separate acceptance criteria is given. So for large dia pipe, if the OD is more than or equal to 60.3 mm, we'll consider that pipe as large dia pipe, and in large dia pipe the acceptance criteria or rejection criteria is the maximum dimension of borne through or internal concavity is more than 6 mm and the density is more than the adjacent parent material, will reject that. Second one is if the maximum density is more than T, and T is the thickness of the wall, thickness of the thinnest parent material. So if it is more than that thickness and density is more, will reject that. And the third criteria for aggregate, if 2, 3 or 4 borne through or internal concavity is there, then the aggregate length is more than 13 mm for 300 wavelength and the density is more, will reject that. So this is for a large dia pipe. For small dia pipe, the first two criteria of large dia pipe and a small dia pipe is similar. The third one is more than 1 bt of any size and density exceed that of the thinnest adjacent parent material, will reject that. Means if it is a small dia pipe and there is more than one borne through, we'll straight away reject that. Now after understanding borne through, we'll understand the slag inclusion. Under this heading slag inclusion, we have two terms, ESI and ISI. This clause is given in 9.3.8, and ESI is elongated slag inclusions, ISI is isolated slag inclusion. ESI elongated slag inclusion is continuous or broken line. If the inclusion is in a line, then this is a ESI. And the second thing is it should be in, or most of the time it is found in fusion zone, whereas the ISI is of any irregular shape and it can be found anywhere. So now we have understood what is ESI and ISI. We'll see the acceptance or rejection criteria. If it is a ESI and length is more than 50 mm, we'll reject that. If it is ESI and width is more than 1.6 mm, we'll reject that. If there are 2, 3, 4 or more than that, then the aggregate length of all ESI is more than 50 mm in 300 wavelength, we'll reject that. Now if it is ISI and width is more than 3 mm, we'll reject that. If it is a ISI and more than 1, then the cumulative length or aggregate length is more than 13 mm in a 300 mm weld length, we'll reject that. And if there are two, both ESI and ISI both are there, then we'll use this criteria, 8% of the weld length. If the welding is suppose 300 mm, then 8% of 300 mm will be something around 24. So if a cumulative length of ESI and ISI is more than 24, we'll reject that. So friends, this is the main criteria for slag inclusions. There are some minor criteria also given, but I have laid out the important one. Now for porosity, under this heading porosity, 3 subheadings are there: individual or scattered porosity, cluster porosity, hollow bead porosity. So if it's an individual porosity, then pore dia is more than 3 mm or 25% of the wall thickness, parent metal wall thickness. Whichever is less, we'll consider that. For example, if the wall thickness is 100 mm, then 25% of 100 mm will be 25 mm. In that case, 3 mm is less, then we'll consider 3 mm. If the wall thickness is 10 mm, then 25% of 10 mm is 2.5. Then in that case, 2.5 will be small, then we'll consider 2.5 mm. Then cluster porosity. If the cluster diameter is more than 13 mm, we'll reject that. And if there are 2, 3, 4 or more than that, then the aggregate length of cluster porosity in a 300 weld length is 13 mm, we'll reject that. Finally, hollow bead porosity. Individual 13 mm, reject. Aggregate 50 mm in 300 mm weld length, reject. Friends, this is the main criteria for porosity. There are some more criteria given, but I have laid out the important ones. Now we'll understand cracks. Cracks is given in 9.3.10. So normal cracks are not allowed except shallow crater crack or star crack. Star crack is nothing but the crack which is generated at the end of the electrode. Means suppose if we are welding and at the end of the weld bead, a crack sometimes formed, and that crack is called as a star crack. So if it's a shallow crater crack or star crack, we can accept up to 4 mm. If it is more than 4 mm, we'll reject that. Finally, it's undercutting. Ninth one. In API 1104, it is mentioned undercutting. Most of the time we call it as undercut, but in API it is given undercutting, and the clause in which the criteria is given is 9.3.11 or 11. So aggregate length. Now there are two things, friends, you need to understand. If that undercut is inside the weld, not on the surface, then this criteria will be applicable, and this criteria says aggregate length is more than 50 mm. For a 300 mm weld length, we'll reject that, and aggregate length 1/6 of the wall thickness, we'll reject that. Now if it is on the surface, it can be seen visually, then we can measure the depth also. So in that case we have to use table 4 under clause 9.7. If depth is more than 0.8 mm or 12.5% of pipe thickness, not acceptable, any length. If depth is 0.4 to 0.8 mm or plate wall thickness less than or equal to 12.5%, then 50 mm is acceptable, and if that depth is less than 0.4 mm, then it is always acceptable. So friends, this was about undercutting. I hope you like this video. Thank you very much.